Hi, my name is Dr. Hook, and today we will speak on amino acid. I would like to ask you one question and try partially to answer it from a biological and medical point of view. General weakness. You can often hear such complaints during the day. I'm tired, I'm weak. Maybe you yourself feel sometimes tired. So I have to remember you my first lecture on elements and micromolecules, that regeneration works only if you are supplying those elements, or as I am saying simply, if you are charging our trillions of cells with elements, but not only your iPhone. And then it works. Well, we'll try together to understand important biological function of some of those elements, micro and macromolecules, known to us today. So let's look at human body as a biological system. So you will wonder, for example, approximately 10 million cells die per 1 second. So our body regenerates completely every few years. Skin cells in 1 month, liver cells in 9, maybe 12 months, our bones in 4 or 5 years. So what is needed for this process of called regeneration to run adequate? Firstly, all important elements which our body needs for formation, synthesis of micro and macromolecules. Secondly, perfect transformation of information in our body. And third, perfect coordination. All reaction in one cell take place millions of reactions in 1 second. Okay, so as you know from the school, we have two metabolic status, anabolic and catabolic. To be sure that it works, we are taking some amounts of food like proteins, fat, and carbohydrates, and digesting them, which can lead to anabolic and catabolic status. Depends on the quality and quantity of our food. And here we have our problems in 21st century. Well, let's now look at our body with eyes of those two great chemists, Mendeleev and Mayer. So our body contains approximately 60 till 70% of water, pure, depends on your age. Old Latin saying, say, in vino veritas, in aqua sanitas. What means in English, in wine there is true, but in water health. Water, only 3 atoms, 2 of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen. What simple and great molecule, still keeping some secret from the chemist. Then if you remember, we consist of 3 macronutrients. Protein, approximately up to 20%. Proteins, by the way, from Greek means protos, first or most important. Interestingly, we have up to 20% protein, and protein is only macronutrients which contain nitrogen. If you remember in my last lecture, I told you that our body contains 3% of nitrogen, pure. Then fat, approximately up to 10%. Some people have more, but this condition is pathological and we call it obesity. Then carbohydrates, approximately up to 2%. Nucleic acid, up to 1%, important for gene structure. And minerals, up 5%. So are anorganic nutrients which human body cannot synthesize. And now you have to realize every work in our body is carried out by a very special protein. And as you know, all proteins are built up from amino acids. So well, my next question to you. Did you ever check your amino acid content? We call it aminogram. Here I have to mention again other great Spanish professor, Dr. Luca Moretti. He was the first we evaluate and made up our mind to proportion of amino acid in our body, but not only. And now I would like to spend a few minutes with amino acid, which are the building blocks of protein, and those give us our structure, or let's say beauty. As you remember, we have in our body 22 amino acids. Some people are saying 20. Okay. And try to imagine that from those 22 amino acids, we can build up more as 20,000 genes. That's what science is telling us today. From those 22 amino acids, we can synthesize more as 400,000 today known proteins. I'm sure there are more. So once again, proteins are origin of life. Origin of life. But we have some small problems. From those 22 amino acids, we can synthesize only 14. We call them non-essential. But at least 8 we cannot synthesize. And we call them essential amino acids. Isoleucine, leucine, valine, L-lysine, please remember L-lysine, then methionine containing sulfur, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, histidine. But under stress condition, who does not know such condition in his life? Some of so-called non-essential amino acid could become essential, like, you know already, L-arginine. You know already how important is arginine in the synthesis of nitric oxide, one of the key micromolecules in our vascular, neurological, and immune system. Glutamine, proteinogenic amino acid containing nitrogen, for synthesis of purines and nucleotides, building blocks for nucleic acid, RNA, DNA, but also play important role in regulation of life processes in our cell. For example, synthesis of ATP molecule plays in central role in energy transfer, activation of enzyme, transmission of signal at membrane receptor, our cells, and so on. And cysteine, proteinogenic amino acid containing again sulfur. Good. So our amino acid pool is available in liver, so-called liver short-time amino acid, and in the muscle, so-called long-time amino acid. Free amino acids are in all organs under continuous work. For example, 70 kg heavy man contain 10 kg protein, 100 gram amino acid. If we add taurine, which is a second by amount amino acid in our body, we have 130 gram of amino acid, then plus 5 gram of amino acid in blood. So only now some biological function of amino acid. They are responsible for synthesis of vital enzymes, hormones like insulin, neurotransmitter, sexual hormones, important mediators, immune system, muscle building, work for our genes, etc. So average protein turnover in human daily amount approximately 300 gram. So simple question, which protein do you think is mostly synthesized in our body? Collagen. Approximately 30-35% of our tissue is built up from collagen, which is responsible for such biological function like structure of molecules, keep organs formed, did not allow bacteria, viruses, cancer cells to pass the soft tissue. Collagen, by the way, is stronger as steel. Now, what do we need for collagen synthesis? Essential amino acid, L-lysine, vitamin C, of course adequate amount, which we will see on my slides. But what do we need to keep the structure of collagen? Simple answer, sulfur. That's why one reason why we have 0.2% of pure sulfur in our body. Now again to old Latin. Modicus cibi, medicus sibi. A moderate amount of food, the doctor himself. I think that we all pay much less attention for our nutritional status. Let's take daily protein requirement in gram per kilogram of body weight. So for average human 0.8 till 0.9. Recreation athletes, if you're jogging, 1.0 till 1.1. Competitive athletes, 1.2 till 1.4. Convalescent, for example, after infection, for example, viral infection or operation, you need 2.0 till 2.5 gram, more or less double. So let's take immunostimulating effect of some amino acids like cysteine, arginine, glutamine. Again, you will see importance of amino acid. Who does not like to enjoy his life, happiness and fitness? Phenylalanine is answer, because for synthesis of tyrosine and then further dopamine, adrenaline, noradrenaline. Tryptophan is important for synthesis of serotonin. You can avoid depression. So using those knowledge, we can enjoy our life, be fit, and then support regeneration, but no degeneration. And at the end of my lecture, I cannot mention pandemia. And here we have important question. Can we improve our immune system, natural immune system? Answer, yes. Question, how? Answer, probably by balanced nutrition, supplementing elements like nitrogen, calcium, sulfur, etc. Vitamins like C, B complex, D3, E, A, of course, in some amounts. Then amino acid, essential, semi-essential and non-essential. Of course, enough sleep to regenerate. And then physical exercises. We know for years that 30% of our health depends on our physical exercises, nothing new. And then prebiotics, not prebiotic, so-called good bacteria. And then at the end we have avoid stress by supporting antioxidative system in our body. Thank you very much for today.